Action.
Action. Hey, welcome back.
Hi.
We're back. Yeah, we had a little hiatus. That's all right. We're back. We got a good show. How's everybody doing?
We had a little spring break.
Little spring break. Yeah, we needed it. I mean, look, he's in a tank top. It's nice outside now.
Yeah. Yep.
Beautiful. 80 degrees outside.
What are we kidding? I mean, it could be like 50 here and cloudy, and we would be in shorts and a tank top.
This is very true. But it's good to be back. We got a good
Episode
show.
30.
Episode 30.
Yep. And unlike the Wings, we deliver in April.
That's right. That's right.
Even though we've been gone for a while.
Detroit. I mean, let's just get right in. Detroit. It's a good time to be a Detroit fan.
It sure is. Yeah.
We got a big night tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I know you guys won't be listening to this till, after all this happens, but Pistons tonight.
You better listen to this right after. Because
right away.
This message is going to self-destruct.
We got the draft tonight.
Yep.
It's good. Tigers got the day off, which is good.
Actually,
I don't have to worry about watching them.
Yeah, my mind might explode from overstimulation if there's anything more.
It's a lot of fun right now to be here in Detroit.
Yeah. Yeah, feeling pretty good. I was reminded today by a coworker that Matt Patricia is the OSU defensive coordinator. I forgot about that, so that made me happy.
I did forget about that. Yeah.
But yeah, we got the Tigers are off, but they're playing damn well, and then we got the draft, and then we got the Pistons playoff. Normally, like, the draft is the big deal.
Yeah.
But, no, it's a Pistons playoffs. This is a big.
Oh yeah. So let's just ask, what is your focus tonight? Playoffs or draft? Is it like a 80-20?
Oh, I'm watching
100-0. Like,
I'm gonna be checking the draft on my phone.
Yes.
But you got to watch the Pistons game. You got to watch. You actually need to be in your seat and watch the pregame and watch how electric LCA is gonna get. LCA has not had this.
This is the biggest game in LCA history.
They haven't had any Wings playoff games.
No.
And, they have had Pistons playoff, but the last time the Pistons were in the playoffs, besides this, they were swept.
Right.
And it wasn't even competitive. So,
this is the Pistons' biggest playoff game since, I think, 2008?
Yeah.
07, 08?
Yeah, I would say.
It was the last time we won a playoff game.
It's funny. That was the going to work Pistons, and now they're the back to work Pistons.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's cool. Really exciting. I'm pumped. And you know what? This kind of almost feels like, I know it's not Game 7, but it kind of has almost like a step below that. Because you kind of have a feeling like this could really decide.
This is going to decide where the series go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, it's a good time to be a Detroit sports fan.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. I'm the same way. The draft is, I'm just going to watch it on my phone. We've told you guys how, at least for me, I don't follow college football that much. So I'm not going to know a lot of these names coming through. I'm excited to see who the Lions take, but it's all about it's playoffs trump everything.
Yeah.
Even if the Tigers were on tonight and you ask me, and we all know that we're baseball fans, and you're going to ask me who we're watching, I'm picking the Pistons because it's playoffs.
Absolutely. And the fact that we're playing a New York team and the other side kind of seems to like to bitch a lot. So
there's a lot of shit talking going on already.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I like it too. And you can kind of see the Pistons aren't really giving into it. They had their, whatever you want to call it, their collapse in Game 1. But I think they completely exercised that demon with securing that game in Game 2 and pretty much just shutting them up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited for them.
So we're going to get it's pretty much an all about Detroit sports show today.
Yeah.
We're going to talk Tigers, Pistons, Lions, obviously our stud and duds.
Yep.
So let's just get right into it. Let's talk about these gritty Tigs.
Oh, the Motor City Kitties.
Motor City Kitties. All right, let me just get your start. We're right off the get. What do you think? 15-10? How do you think the season's starting? Because I don't think we've had, I think maybe only one episode because we took a little break.
Yeah.
That since the season really kicked off.
Yeah, right. And we were kind of coming off the heels of that sweep, and then they kind of bounced back against Seattle, and then
that was it. Yeah, that was right after. So we were only about 6 games in when last time we did an episode. So
you know what? They're playing better than I anticipated. I kind of felt like they were going to start the season and hover around 500, and really not, the pitching would be good, but I thought the hitting would be slow. Right. That hasn't been the case. It's kind of come back to earth a little bit, but you've had some guys really kind of step up and make a name for themselves. Torque being one. How do you feel? Like, what is your like reaction right now? Like after 25, I mean, where are they at? Like 15% of the season, something like that. So, like, what is your thought? Right?
I mean, so far so good. I mean, this is a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
We're staying above 500. I don't know about the whole title. Like, it's nice to be like, oh, we're in first place. We're like tied for the best record in the AL, but you're also only 25 games into the season.
Yeah, it's
a lot of baseball left to play, but it's fun to watch. I mean, they're getting it done.
Mm-hmm.
Even when they're trailing, they're getting it done.
Yep.
I mean, even for example, the other day we lost 2-0 to the Padres, but what a pitching duel! Like,
yeah.
I mean, our pitchers are in it. I mean, I feel like even the games we lose, we're close.
Yeah.
Like, we're not getting blown out.
Yeah. Unless Maeda's in.
They only need to bring him in when we're up 9-0. Like we were.
Like when they used, like back in the day when the Pistons used Darko.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. No, you only bring him in when because he's always going to give up a run.
Yeah.
Because he was in. We were up 9-0 against what was it, Kansas City? I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And he came in and gave up a run. I'm like, man, it would have been nice to get another sweep. That would have been like our shutout.
Yeah. Right.
But and we're winning series.
Yeah.
That's my biggest takeaway is win the series.
Yep.
It's a long season. You're going to lose, right? I mean, I was looking at it and I was doing this math, right? Because it was 15-10. Like, okay, it's still close. We're 5 games above. But if you keep winning these series,
it stacks up.
Well, I did the math. And like, if we just stayed on this path, we were like a stupid, like 108 win team. If you just keep winning series, like you get take 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4, 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4. Like right now it doesn't look, but it's going to build up by July, August. Now, obviously I don't think any baseball team can hold that.
Sustain that. Yeah.
They gave us 83.5 win prediction on the season.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they're a better team than that. And you know what? What's funny is that, you look at the AL Central and I think it's already pretty much separated itself as like a 2-team race.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
Like it's gonna be Cleveland and Detroit.
Wait,
everybody else
Sox aren't in it?
No. Last I checked, I think they actually have a better record than the Rockies. I might be wrong, but like, hey, at least they're moving on up.
Yeah,
but
baby steps.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I know. I think it's going to be fun, but I expect the Tigers to kind of pull away later on in the season. It's going to be
I think 90. If whether it's Detroit or Cleveland, obviously, hopefully it's us. But I think if we can get to 90 wins, I think that locks up the division easily.
Yeah. Cleveland. What did Cleveland have? The division last year was actually a lot better than I think people thought or give it credit for. I think Cleveland was a 95 win team. I don't think it's gonna, like you said. I don't think it's gonna. I think they had 95 wins last year or something like that.
They didn't make any moves in the offseason.
Right. Yeah. I don't think
we're better now.
Yeah.
That means we're going to take some series against them.
90, 92 should probably do it.
I think so.
And I think the Lions, the Tigers have the edge in obviously pitching, and then. If the Tigers kind of stay where they're at hitting, like they're in most categories, they're like top 10, even top like average, which is fine. Like last year they were.
Well, you got some numbers for us.
Yeah. Okay. So like for instance, this year right now they're 11th in batting average, 12th in on base, 14th in OPS, which everybody loves using that one.
Yeah.
And then 10th in runs scored. I mean, that's most important. But last year they were 24th in batting average, 29th in on base percentage, 23rd in OPS, and 19th in runs scored. So like I know it's early. But I think it still tells you something. And then in pitching, we're 3rd in ERA and 3rd in WHIP. So you maintain that. Like if you're like just say an average hitting team, but then you have a top 5 pitching, like that's enough to get you. You're a World Series contender. I don't care. Like that's.
I like hearing that. I like that.
Yeah,
that's got a nice ring to it.
It feels good.
It feels good.
Yeah.
I just see we are
dirty to me.
We're the only team with 4 starting pitchers with a sub ERA of 3 right now.
Yeah, and if you add Reese Olson too, he's got 3.29. So all the guys are 3.3 or less. Joe 2.2, I think. He's been really good.
And good for him, coming because he's just getting. I mean, we threw him into the playoffs last year, and now it's kind of like, what are we doing? And right to the Wolves this year, and you know what? He's performing the way that we want him to.
Yeah. He sure. The pitching staff, man, just deserves so much credit.
I'll tell you, I'm really happy that Flaherty is back. in a Tiger uniform.
Yeah, that's a massive pickup, and not to mention our shortstop. You know what I mean? We got him in that deal, and then there was another kid in the minors floating around, but like Sweeney's holding it down at that position. So let me ask you something really quick.
Okay.
Who's your biggest surprise in your opinion? I know Torque and Mize, they're always the hot topics because number one overall picks, but who would you say you're most impressed with right now between those two?
Oh God. Man, it's a tough question. Well, fuck.
I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Because it's like two totally different sides, right? You got pitching and hitting. I'm going to go with Torque.
Okay.
And that's just because I think he had his back against the wall. Mm-hmm. He may not have been a big leaguer this year. Mm-hmm. And he did what he had to do to get back to where he is. He's been clutch so far this year. Mm-hmm. I mean, multiple times he's getting big hits and late in the games when we need it.
Yep.
And so he is my biggest, breakout guy. But Mize is right behind him in the sense that splitter is nasty.
Yeah. Yep.
That splitter, he finally figured it out. But I'm picking Torque over Mize because Mize was coming off injury. And Mize, we didn't know if he was necessarily going to still be with the team or not, but like he didn't necessarily have the collapse that Torque had.
Right. He was
injured and he was trying to come back from the injury. And when you come back from an injury, there's always a chance that you're not who you were before. And it seems like he's come out even stronger than he was.
Yeah.
So Torque, where he was last year, where he, the year before 30 home runs and came back last year really bad, sent him down, brought him up, not doing anything to like get to that point where you're not going to be on this team. You may not even be a major league player ever again.
Yeah, right.
Here you are. I heard somebody say this. He went from 0 for Forkelson to 4 for Forkelson. And I mean, that's just, I think that's really impressive.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm picking. Who would you pick?
I'm obviously like for me it was close, but I am going to go with Torque too, just because he just looks like a completely different player at the plate, and not just from like he's hitting home runs. He's got 7 this year. What did he hit 10 last year? So last year he had 381 plate appearances, right? And he had 10 home runs. He has 7 this year, like under 120 plate appearances.
Yeah,
944 OPS. And another thing that's getting overlooked too is I don't like the strikeouts. He's still got a lot of strikeouts.
He does.
But he's drawing a lot of walks. Like he's got 15 walks this year. Last year he had 33. All of last year he had 33 walks. This year he's already got 15.
Okay.
So he's
already on par to double everything from last year.
Yes. His on base percentage this year is close to 380. That's really good.
Yeah.
Like if he's going to go and slump, at least get on base.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's doing that. So that's impressive to me. The swing is obviously better. He looks confident. He's playing. I think he's doing fine at first base.
Well, he's had some nice pickups over there. I mean,
he's already had a 1 WAR this year. I mean, I don't know if I still know what that number means, WAR, but
he's at a 1.
He's at a 1,
and we're only 25 games in.
Yeah, so like, okay, whatever. We'll take it.
Yeah, I saw the other day he's on par, and obviously baseball, it's fun to run the numbers at season because they can be so fun. Like I said, the Tigers are set to have like 100+ wins, right?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun right now. Everything settles down once the dog days get here.
Yeah.
And you average everything out, right? Everything settles. But he's on par to have like 54 home runs right now for the season.
Yeah. And he's not going to do that, but like, could he hit 30 to 35? Yeah. I think
so.
Absolutely he could. And would we take that? Yeah. Yeah, I'll take that.
So the only thing that scares me with how well he's performing now, and this happens to every player in baseball, I don't care who you are, whether you're Mike Trout, Torkelson, anybody, right? Everybody has a slump.
They do, yeah.
So you look at, 7 home runs already.
He's been fluky his whole career too, so like it's going to happen.
You want him to stay consistent, right? And we look at, 50, he's on par for 54 home runs. We'd be happy with 30. That seems more realistic. But that means there's going to be a part in this year where he's not producing as well. And that's okay, because that's what happens in baseball.
Yeah.
But that is coming.
Yeah.
Right? Now, on the flip side, and I wanted to bring this guy up, not to really jump to another player, but like Riley Green. He's struggling so far this year.
He's swinging and missing way too much.
He's having issues, and he's got to get. He was an all-star last year.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But because the opposite of what I was saying about Torque is like, okay, he's trending upwards like this right now, which means he's going to kind of flatten out, maybe dip a little bit. But then there's Riley Green, where we know he's an all-star player, so he's on a downward trend. Well, that means come May, June, July, he's going to spike.
Riley Green is going to have a couple months where he's just going to hit the shit out of the ball. Like,
right.
I feel pretty.
And that's so it's that. Okay. So at least if Torque drops, you get Riley Green that comes up.
Yeah.
And that's just the way baseball works. Because right now we're like, all right, Torque. We want Torque in. We want Torque to do this.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, Riley Green's up. It's like, all right, hopefully he'll get it together.
Yep.
I know he had a couple hits the other day, so starting to get that together. But
yeah, he'll figure out.
He'll be fine.
Timing. Yeah.
But I guess I was just getting at that point where you're up and you're down, and hopefully you have the other guys that you don't want everyone to slump at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So when Torque starts to drop a little bit, hopefully Riley's on his way up.
Well, you got, like, if you look at it, okay, so you have Kerry Bonds, and then you have Mickey Torkelson right now.
Yeah.
But then on the flip side, you have Colt Keith is not hitting well. He is drawing walks. So, like, he's still contributing. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, if these guys, even if they're going to go through a slump, but if they can still draw walks and get on base, the pitching's going to do their thing. The pitching's going to keep them in every game. And all it's going to take is a timely hit or two.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? To get them over the hump. But, like, if they're not getting on base or if they're not hitting at all, then, like, fuck. It could get ugly. But they just seem to have a better approach to the plate this year. And I don't know. It's just I have a lot more confidence in him this year. I think Colt Keith is at some point, because he started off slow last year. I think he's going to pick up too. Like, he's not going to mash. He's not going to hit 30 home runs, but like he's going to put the ball in play. I feel pretty confident.
And he needs to, because he's not the best defensive player.
No, he's not.
So he got to get that bat around. Otherwise, he might not be up here that long.
Yeah, he's a young guy still, and I think maybe a trip back down could do a lot of good. I mean, they did it with Jace Young. I don't know if it really did much, but
he's up. He got his first hit.
Yeah, did he? Yeah,
of his career. That's always exciting. I think he's more of a glove than a bat, which is fine, right?
Yeah, he's and he's kind of got like you can see like a trend here. Like Jace Young, like his batting average when they brought him up from AAA, I think it was 240, but his on base was like 380, 390. So it's like, okay, you're still contributing.
We got some Moneyball things going on.
That's what they're kind of working on. They're like, remember what Scott Harris said when they hired him? Like, they want to control the strike zone.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you're seeing it. You're seeing it play out right now.
And they were talking, and you can see it, and almost every player said it. They want to be aggressive at the plate right away, like the first two pitches, and then they become
scale back.
Yeah. It's like, okay, if I can get that first hit, or hit off the first pitch.
Well, they just like they probably look at the analytics and then look at like how like the difference between like the first two pitches between the next ones. Like, you know what I mean?
There's definitely a science behind it, but they're aggressive first, patient second.
Okay.
Where I feel like it was a little bit opposite last year. They were patient.
Yeah, they were
waiting, and then they were pitches. Like trying to be aggressive, which obviously
that's
is not going to work out for you. So, and that's even what some of the players have said. I come to the plate. I try to be aggressive right off the get.
Yeah.
Like if the first pitch is good, because you get a lot of players in the MLB that take that first pitch.
Yeah.
It could be the best one. Let me see what you're throwing me.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna try to ambush you. And get a hit right away. Mm-hmm. And I think we're seeing that a lot. And then you see him kind of settle down.
Okay. Yeah.
And have good at bats. And I think that's why these on base percentages are as high as they are right now.
Yeah. There's definitely an improvement there, and I think that's a good sign. And you know what else too? I think we were really concerned about this team defensively, but I looked at the stats. We're second in defensive efficiency, and I think we're 15th in fielding percentage. Okay, so it's average.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we'll take that.
I'll take average.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, we're an elite pitching team. Okay, we're above average hitting team, and then we're average to above average defensive team. I think you'll take that.
I take that.
And then we have the best manager in the game. So like
AJ Hinch.
Yep. The wizard.
It's a really fun start to be like this and not be, trying to climb back up.
Yeah.
Fall behind. This is good. We're setting ourselves up for a successful season.
Yep.
Tied with the Yankees right now. Fuck the Yankees. But I'm not even worried about them. It's Cleveland, right? It's us in Cleveland.
Yeah, just worry about the division. Yeah, which I think they already have like a 9-3 record in the division. I think the Tigers are going to take care of business in the division. They usually do.
Yes, I agree.
I think they'll be fine. I think at some point we'll separate ourselves from Cleveland once these other guys start swinging. And all right, let me ask you something really quick.
Okay.
I know we're talked about all the good things and stuff like that, but like, give me some reasons why. And I don't want to be negative, but sometimes you just got to kind of play devil's advocate a little bit.
Got to bring it up.
Like, okay, so we brought up all the reasons for optimism with this team. Give me some reasons why this team will fall off or not, accomplish these goals, make the playoffs, win the division, blah, 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 whatever. What would be the reason why they don't?
From what I've seen so far this season, and we've kind of talked about this like throughout the season between games and stuff, is I think it's the mistakes that the players are making. I feel like a lot of our losses, take away any of the pitching duels or anything like that, we tend to make some mistakes, errors. I mean, it's pretty much the errors, right? You're not playing the ball right. You're overthrowing. You try to do too much, right? You try to turn a double play that's not there, overthrowing, and we've lost a few games that way. And so I think it's going to come down to, I don't want to say the IQ of the defense, but it's trying to do more than what they should.
Yeah.
And we've seen that so far. And I think that's going to be the downfall of this team, if there is any, is our defense.
Now, do you think that'll clean itself up? And have you noticed an improvement at all from the beginning of the season, or are you still seeing like the same issues?
I mean, you would hope they clean it up, because it's not often, but I feel like when it happens, it's contagious.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, saw a game the other day. I mean, Cole Keith had the ball. He overthrew it. Then, there's another.
He's got hips, I think.
That you got an outfielder that dropped the ball. It just kind of all seems to come at one time.
Yeah.
And then obviously you have the up and down of the slumps, and they're young. The other point that I wanted to bring up was they're just a young team, right? So I think you get a lot of the ups and downs with being young, and I think that and we saw that last year. I mean, look at our summer we had last year. It was horrible.
Yeah.
It was a horrible summer, and then all of a sudden, boom, the kids figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, it's going to be it's the mistakes.
Okay. Interesting point.
What's your take on it?
Well, as far as like your approach defensively, yeah, I could see that, or the mistakes, because of the team itself. Like, I could see that. I guess what am I concerned with? Like, because when I look at the numbers, like they're fourth in strikeouts offensively.
Yeah.
So that's concerning. Like, okay, is the offense going to like completely just have this flip again and be back to where we were at last year where we couldn't score runs? And they're 28th in stolen bases. So like when
we don't steal.
Yeah, we're not really aggressive anymore like that. We used to be. The injuries, Kerry Bonds is out again, or Kerry Carpenter.
Yeah. Now, do you think that has something to do with kind of what AJ said the other day, where like this is, and you even put a post about it, that it's a marathon, right? So maybe the stolen bases aren't coming yet. Maybe we're like really like slowly easing into the season and getting more aggressive as the season goes on, because we are off to a good start. So maybe AJ's thinking,
no need to press.
No need. Yeah, exactly. We don't need to really be. We're not close. Yeah. We're 15-10. We're not 10-15. Where it's like, all right, we got to get some W's back under our belt.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know. Maybe that's part of it.
That could be. Yeah, that could be.
And baseball is just a wonky sport, right? I mean, anything can happen at any time. I mean, you got 9 guys, and you're relying on all of them to be sync at the same time, right? And and baseball is very, I don't care what level baseball, whether you're talking about being in the show or you're talking about the 8-year-old Little League, baseball is contagious.
Mm-hmm.
If you hit,
hitting's
everybody's hitting. Yep. If you're causing errors, everyone's causing errors. If your pitching's on, right?
Right.
I do want to bring up, I think I've already noticed a difference with the pitching this year in the fact that there's no pitching chaos. And I brought it up last year that is, you cannot go that way, because we had talked about, like, is this something the league will look at? And I was like, no, this is only a short period of time. If we were still doing pitching chaos right now, I would be really concerned about our season.
Yeah. Yeah.
It worked for us last year, and I think that was it. That's the only way that it was going to work out for us. We have our solid starting 4.
Well, all right. Well, what happens when if we lose a Flaherty or if we lose a Casey Mize again, or because there's a good chance these guys are going to go down. Like Montero, he has not been that good. Like he was kind of our guy last year that we relied on when somebody went down. I don't know if whenever Cobb will come back and he's going to be 38. Like you can't like.
It's a legit concern.
Yeah.
If any of those guys go down, it almost kind of reminds me of the Lions, right?
Yeah.
You have your team, your starting team, and when those guys go down,
who are you going to rely on?
baseball. I think the Tigers have a little bit more depth, but like, you're gonna struggle. So especially with the pitching, maybe not so much the everyday players, but the pitching.
Mm-hmm.
Skubal, Flaherty, Mize, any of those guys go down. You're going to have to go back to pitching. What are you going to do? You're going to rely on Job and Montero?
Yeah, you can't burn those guys.
What are you going to do? Put Maeda back into the starting lineup?
Right.
You can't do it to me. That's going to be a huge thing.
The only thing is, I think at some point where I would not be surprised if pitching chaos comes back, but it's only for like a brief period of time while they kind of maybe somebody is dealing with an injury or whatever, or they're not comfortable with bringing up somebody from AAA or whatever, but I would not be surprised to see that come back.
And I don't mind it when they do it every other week or something like that. Because, last year it was Skubal and then 4 days of chaos.
Yeah.
Skubal, 4 days of chaos.
Right.
Right. And at least now we have a set. And if you want to do chaos every 5th day, every 6th day, whatever, right? Because like even Job's not pitching every 5 days.
Right.
He's going once, and then they're bringing Montero, and then Job will go again.
Yeah.
Right.
They're really be careful.
They're kind of on a 6-man it's like a 4-man rotation, and they're like every other on the 5th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which I'm okay with.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And that's probably why they brought Cobb on, maybe to be like that type of guy, not go every day or kind of like split it between, Job and Cobb a little bit, but then Cobb gets hurt. But, hopefully they get him back and he can contribute.
And we don't even know what Cobb's going to bring to the table.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about all that, but we'll see. We'll see.
But again, so far, so good.
Yep.
You want to move on?
Yeah, let's move on. We do. All right, we got the Tigers off the list. Let's go
Pistons.
Let's go Pistons.
And then we'll move into the.
What are they called now? The going to work Pistons.
Going to work.
Or no, back to work.
Back to work. We were the going to work. Now we're back to work.
Right. The going to work Pistons retired. Now we got the back to work Pistons.
And I feel like they're a split between the bad boys and going to work.
Yeah, because you got a couple guys who will throw with some elbows.
And I feel like we're one of the only teams in the NBA that play defense. And teams don't like that.
No, they don't.
They don't like.
The Knicks definitely don't.
Whatever. It's part of the game. Listen, this is what we do. Now, I don't think that. Well, first of all, I think we have a really good chance of beating the Knicks in this first round. Downside of that, the bummer part of me coming out, I don't think we get out of the second round.
No, probably not.
But baby steps. We're not a contender, right? I feel like this is like kind of where the Lions were a couple years ago, right? All right, let's just win one playoff game.
Well, you know what?
Let's just win one, and now that's kind of where we're at with the Pistons. Let's just get one series.
Well, I feel like with the Pistons this year, like they've their growth has been so quick because
oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Okay, so last year they were a 14-win team, and then they clean house with the front office, and then they bring these guys in, and then the Pistons kind of started off, I think, not slow, but they weren't good, and then all of a sudden they just went on this tear. So it's like they had a growth spurt then,
yes,
and then secure a playoff spot. That's a growth spurt, and then they had to go and win that. Like they lost that game 1. Okay, that could have just collapsed them. But they came back and won that game 2, another growth spurt. Like they're just having all these growth spurts throughout the year. So as far as after this year, like there's no telling where this team could go.
Oh, I think it's only up from here. They're building a good squad. They have a good core.
Yep.
The other thing, just the fact that LCA tonight is gonna be rocking.
Yeah. If anybody's going to that, I am envious.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Scream as loud as you can. It's gonna be a hell of a night at that arena.
It's gonna be fun for sure.
Definitely the biggest game ever played at LCA, and
which is crazy because how long has that place been around? Did we look at this up? Has it been 7, 8 years?
I don't know. They've both been so bad. It's like, yeah, they just kind of been around. But yeah, it's been at least 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, it's a beautiful arena, whatever you want to call it, but it deserves
Got this thing.
some. Are you trying that Google? How does that thing work? I'm about to give that a whirl. Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm excited to watch that game. We got the draft though right in the middle.
2017, so 8 years.
So it's been 8 years. Okay, that's what I thought. Something like that.
And nothing big has happened there except for tonight. So I did hear today. So into play, and I don't remember how many years this goes back. Maybe it's all of or history of basketball, but 1-1 games. Game 3, whoever wins, 80% of the time, that team wins the series.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Huge game tonight. And you said that at the beginning of the podcast. This is a huge game for who wins tonight moving forward.
Yeah, it kind of has that, not a game 7, but kind of close to that type of vibe.
Exactly.
Just a very important game because no team wants to go down, 1-2.
No.
Especially
and
now
we
that
have home court advantage.
Now going and winning that game. That second game was huge. And I have a feeling what's going to happen. I kind of have a feeling how this is going to play out. So the Knicks are going to come to LCA. It's going to get loud. The crowd, the Pistons are going to feed off of that. The Knicks are going to get flustered. And then you're going to see Brunson whining. You're going to see Thibodeau whining. And I think that's just going to have this snowball effect with the team, and they're just going to collapse. I have a feeling the Pistons may beat their ass tonight. I just kind of have this feeling.
Awesome. Yeah, that would be great.
They've done it the last, 7 of 8 quarters. They just had that one bad quarter in that first game, but they've worked the Knicks.
They have, yes.
So, and everybody's contributing. That that 3 by how am I always get his name? Schrader, right?
Schroeder.
It's Schroeder?
I think it's Schroeder, yeah.
Okay. I should probably, having a sports podcast, I should probably know the names. But him hitting that 3, that was just cold.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Well, even Reed coming off the bench.
Yeah, and he had a big shot too. Yeah, he had a big play.
He played only 11 minutes, and he was plus 13 while he was out there.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll take it from whoever wants to get in there and put some production on the floor. I don't care whether or not you put a stat on the board, because sometimes it's off the ball stuff that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you just can cause fits for the other team.
Exactly.
Because like you said, nobody wants to play defense anymore in the NBA, but the Pistons
they do.
Yeah,
right?
The Pistons do.
That's what reminds me of that the going to work. Remember, we were holding teams under 70 points back in the early 2000s, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you're never going to see that again. I really don't think you ever see that again. But we play defense, and that's huge. And we're one of the only teams that play defense. And
isn't it funny how that DNA or whatever, that trait or whatever you want to say, always works for Detroit teams? You have to rely on the
blue collar,
the grittiness, because I can think back to the Wings of the 90s, and I can only speak to the teams that I remember.
Right.
I barely remember the Bad Boys, but I do remember a little bit. I agree. They had a going to work, beat your ass. They were a little bit more intense.
Yeah. Come in my paint. I dare you.
Yes, right. they were always just they did not care who they were playing. But then you had the Wings of the 90s. They were tough. And then you had the who else? And then you had the going to work Pistons. They were tough and gritty. Now you got the Lions. They rely on that. Now these Pistons are the same way. The Tigers last year.
So you got the gritty Tigs, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got the One Pride Grit Lions. You got the going to work or back to work Pistons.
Yeah.
I think they feed off that. Because Detroit, Michigan, right? We get that. We're that blue collar state, right? You got the big 3 here, the manufacturing. It's a huge blue collar state, and I think those teams, they feed off that.
Yeah, it just seems to click.
It does, and whether or not part of it is we just kind of play off that.
Yeah, that energy.
And that's what we use, because we always say we're a blue collar state and stuff. I don't care what it is, but that's how they play.
Yeah,
any team, and for me to back that up is it can be any person's night anytime.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Whether you're talking about the Lions, right? It could be any player's day to get it done. It's not just always one player. If this guy doesn't get it done, we're not going to win, right?
Yeah.
Look at the Tigers. It could be the pitching. It could be the hitting. Who's going to step up today? The Pistons. Is it going to be Cade? Is it going to be Jalen? Is it going to be Reed? Is it going to be Schroeder? I mean, who is going to be the guy that steps up this day? And I think that's what makes us that blue collar. Like, we're not just a one person all-star team that we always rely on.
And I think a lot of those teams too also focused on the details of the game, like the fundamentals and the details. You know, they're always very sound there. I mean, you can even look at, like, I remember, like, obviously Michigan this past, 2 years ago when they won the Natty, like, they were a very fundamental sound team. Yeah. I think of those good Spartan football teams where they were beating the dog shit out of Michigan. Like, there was really no, like, superstar on that team. They just would wear you down because they were so physical and demanding. And then the Izzo teams, you know what I mean? Like, they all embody that. There's never ever like this.
It's
Michael Jordan team sport. Yeah, like that embodies the city, like working together, like an assembly line. Everybody's working together. Like,
exactly.
It's really cool. It's just funny how that kind of works out.
It does, because when you look at the other either bigger markets, Boston and LA, right? Like, they have their like 2 to 3 guys. Yeah. And if those guys don't perform, then you're probably not going to get a win, right? I mean, even when the Pistons were playing, like, teams come in, and the thing I hate about the NBA is these guys take days off. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, you're there. But, like, a lot of these stars would take the day off, and then people are like, oh, well, they probably won't win tonight because, so-and-so took the night off from playing. Well, that means your team's just not that good if you already think they're going to lose because so-and-so is not there. Yeah. Okay, so Cade was out for a couple games at the end of the season. We were still winning games because guys are several. Obviously, Cade's our superstar, right? There's no arguing that, but there's also,
he's emerging. Yeah, like he's coming out. Like, this is his breakout too.
But the other players are stepping up too. It's not like, oh, Cade had 12 points tonight. We probably lost. No, well, that's okay. Maybe he didn't have a good night, but you have the other guys that are stepping up. That's what's nice about Detroit sports. Yep. But to your point, it is strange how that works. For decades. Yeah,
it's been the blueprint. Like, if you want to win here, like, that has to be the blueprint.
You have to work a team.
Yep, for sure. Well, yeah, looking forward to that. And actually, that game starts in what?
It starts in like 20 minutes.
A half hour, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
I better wrap this shit up.
Okay, hurry up. So tonight, the draft, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. Yep. This is going to win. Anyway, have a good night.
Yep. Bye. All right, well,
let's get it. It's a big night in NFL.
It is. Yeah.
First of all, Green Bay, you ain't got shit on Detroit.
No.
There's no way you're gonna do what we did last year.
And also, the Chicago Bears, like, enjoy your Super Bowl tonight. Okay, we passed that torch to you. Enjoy it tonight. Yeah, because this is it.
Yeah.
Because once September comes around, I hope you like finishing 7-10 again.
You're going down.
Yeah, but
all right. Well, we'll get into the draft in a minute. Let's focus on a little bit of the Lions first, and we'll kind of go into the draft, right? Because there's some Lions news that came up this week.
Yes.
There's some rumors. We got some extensions, and then we'll kind of talk about who's it. So I want to talk about J-Mo first. Okay. He's a big rumor. He's a big talk of the city right now. The rumor is he's going to be traded. Let me just get your thoughts of what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Let's lay it out for the people. So the Lions have till May 1st to pick up his 5th-year option.
Okay. Yep. So if they don't pick it up May 1st, then it's like...
he's here next year, and then we'll let him walk.
Okay.
Now, we do get a 3rd-round comp pick if we let him
walk. Okay.
So obviously trade, it kind of makes sense to think about. I'm not... Because I have my opinions on this. But yeah, so they have to figure out by May 1st of what they're going to do with him on his 5th-year option. So what are your thoughts with this whole J-Mo thing?
I've been
want to trade him? Do you want to?
Well, all right. I'll answer that question first. Do I want to trade him? Maybe. That's all I'm going to say. And all I'm going to say is I'm only going to do it if it makes sense and if it helps us secure a major need. And my opinion, a major need right now would be like the O-line or D-line, specifically the D-line. If it helps us facilitate some sort of trade, we move up in the draft, and then Holmes picks a guy that he really, really wants to fill that need. Okay, that makes sense to me. But just to trade him, just to try and get something out of him before they let him walk, doesn't make any sense to me because he will make the team better. I'm not in love with J-Mo. I do like him, and I think he came on he was like a nice toy last year. But you know what? We also have a nice toy like a Ferrari and Jameer Gibbs that can carry a little bit more load. Amon-Ra can handle it. Laporta was hurt a little bit last year. His production wasn't as good. So we did lose J-Mo. I'm okay, but it has to be to secure a major need. Do I think he's going to be traded? I have no idea what to make out of it because I took the bait. Like when they said something about him unfollowing the Lions. Well, he never followed the Lions in the beginning. Right. So like, okay. And then he's posting something about like stay sucker free, loyalty before and everything. So that tells me something is going on.
But also, who knows what he's young. He might not even be talking football.
That's true. He could be talking about Pokemon.
Right. Could be talking about some boys. Could be talking about some girls. Like you have no idea what everybody wants to read into it. And that's the other thing. The city of Detroit reads into everything these players put out.
Yeah.
He could be talking about a personal matter that has nothing to do with football, and he's probably like, wait, I'm getting traded?
And you know what? Yeah. You know what else it could be, too? He could be pissed that they didn't exercise his fifth-year option or offer him a deal after him knowing that Kirby was getting this massive deal. Maybe he's jealous, and maybe that's all it means. Maybe the Lions have no intention of trading him or do anything just yet. They just wanted to get that Kirby deal done, and maybe he's pissed that they didn't address him first. I mean, it could be something like that, too. Who knows? What do you think? What do you think's happening? What do you think's going on?
I like J-Mo. I think he's fun. He's a nice toy to have. I've said this last year. He will not be here for his fifth. After
he will not get a contract extension.
No, I thought they would pick up his contract. I don't see why we wouldn't, because here's my other. Okay, we're talking the trade, right? That's what I was asking. Okay, one, fuck them draft picks. He's only a third. If we were to trade him, we're going to get a third and a fourth, because no team is going to be like, I'm going to give you more than that when we're already going to get a third when he walks away.
Yeah.
Right? So, yes, I agree. If you trade him and you can build your defense, I just don't think that's happening.
You can't just, like, if they're going to do that, like, there's no point. Like, don't trade him just to get a third or fourth round pick, because that, like,
no, we don't need that.
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
And before I get more on to J-Mo, I think the Lions have made it work. We're never going to make... Actually, I'll come back to that later. Let me just stay on the J-Mo, because that goes with other things I want to say. If we trade him right now, okay, I really feel like all you would get are some draft picks, maybe a player maybe it's a defensive player, but it's not going to be anything of...
Oh, no, yeah.
Something substantial.
Mm-hmm.
So my worry is, well, now who's our number two receiver? Now we only have Tim Patrick is back, but and it's no hate against Tim Patrick. You're number three. He knows his role. He knows that he's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So now what? Right? Okay, I understand we have the other weapons in Demo, Gibbs, Laporta, all that, but like we don't have a number two.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? Are we just going to trade him for another number two? You might as well keep him.
Yeah.
Take your third round pick when he walks away.
Right.
And move on.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that, yes, he has a great ability with his speed. But I'm also the believer that there's always a J-Mo in the draft.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people don't like to hear that. But to me, that there's always another J-Mo that's going to be in the draft.
Yeah. With J-Mo too, like he has elite speed, and he actually, like, I think his blocking is picked up pretty well, because the Lions were not going to have it any other.
He has improved on that. Yes.
And I think also too, he running the ball, like when they do their end arounds with him, I think he's very good there. The only thing that like kind of scares me with him, like I would watch Goff force the ball to him last year, and the 50-50 balls he was not usually coming down with. He's not that type of guy where he's going to go and get a 50-50 ball. He just, he needs to burn you, and that's it. Like that's his move, or an end around. Like that.
Okay. So to me, with you saying it, that just makes me, okay, yes, you're nice. I burn you, touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't burn you, okay, well, now you're an option I don't even have to throw to.
Right.
So would you rather have a guy that all I do is just try to burn you, or would we like to bring in another guy? I'm not saying a guy that's going to be like St. Brown, but a guy that can run routes, that can pick up the ball, make some moves, make something happen.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think it's smart for us to trade J-Mo now, because I don't think we have a replacement. And I think it
I agree.
hurts our offense.
Yep.
I think he's good for us here. And I have no hate towards J-Mo. I just don't see him being a part of this team after his rookie contract.
Yeah, I see.
And the other thing is, wide receivers want so much money.
Right.
That's also the other point. Like, he's going to want $30 million?
Probably.
I mean, we can't.
If he has another year like he did last year, probably.
Okay, well, then he can go be a number one wide receiver on the Giants or the Jaguars that, can afford to pay. He's not.
I'd like to fast forward like 2 years and see how well the Bengals like that T. Higgins and Jamar Chase deal. They're going to be, and then they're trying to trade Hendrickson. They're going to be floored.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. Well, let's get into to Kirby, because this kind of goes into what I was saying with these signings. I feel like the Lions are paying all of their players, right, to stay here. And it's a 50-50 shot, right? Mm-hmm. We're all in on our own players, and it's going to be one of those things. If we win a Super Bowl, it worked out. If we don't win a Super Bowl, everybody's going to be like, why the fuck did you pay all these players so much money? Like, I don't like the Kirby Joseph signing.
No.
I don't like it. No. I think it's way too much fucking money. If you build your defensive line like you're supposed to, you don't need to pay a safety like that. And his 9 interceptions,
yeah,
I don't. That to me, that's a great stat, and I love Joseph. Again, none of what I'm saying is against these players. Get your money, Joseph. Get paid. Yeah. I'm happy you got paid. Take care of your family. Do that. Get paid. That has nothing to do with you as a person, right? This is just me. Like, you're 9. Oh, he's led the league. Okay, well that means they're throwing to him all the time.
Yeah.
The other guys, like the guy that has 1 interception, well, they don't throw to him because they're scared of him. Yeah. And Joseph is a tier 1 safety. I just don't think you pay safeties. And sorry, I'm going on a rant.
No, you're fine.
If you're going to pay, I'd rather pay Branch because Branch is a more versatile player. Mm-hmm. And this might make us lose Branch. Or we also have to realize that the Lions are never going to make that. Okay, we wanted a Myles Garrett, Trey Henry. We're never making that move if we keep paying our players. We're all in on our team, and we're going to live by the sword, die by the sword by doing that.
Yeah. I see. Sorry. I see. No. You're fine. I get your points. That it makes sense to agree, but I think you need to have a ball hawk safety. I really do, and he provides that, and he's the best in the game, and he's also like a staple. Like as far as the core, he's kind of outspoken. He loves it here. Like he just, and I'm not like I know that none of that translates to on the field stuff, but like his play has been phenomenal when he's on the field. Like he's a threat. He's a threat to pick the ball off. And like the way they used him last year, like on the second half of the Niners game, they basically had him play like center field. Like they made an adjustment at half. They made him play center field, and then sure enough, like I don't know what quarter it was, but he had an interception. I think I might have had 2. He has a knack for getting to the ball, and I think you need to have an elite safety, and he provides that.
I completely agree. I want him on our team. I just think that it's way too much money, and it's going to hurt us in the other aspects of our team with trying to pay people. I want him here.
Yeah.
I just think $21 million a year is crazy for a safety.
Yeah, right. I know.
That's just what I'm getting at. It looks just insane.
It looks bad right now, but I think like give it a year or 2. I don't think that deal is going to look that bad, and hopefully his production continues, and he seems to be pretty versatile, and he doesn't get hurt. But
the other thing that goes with it is, you pay a lot of money for these guys to hope. I just hope it doesn't come back and bite us.
Yeah,
with it, right? We do have a salary cap that's going to keep going up. Mm-hmm. But these players just want so much money now.
Yeah.
That is starting to go against the salary cap. And I think that's why the salary cap keeps going up. But they're asking for so much. I mean, we're paying safeties $20 million a year.
Right. Well, you know what? I think the way that they're doing these deals too, like they're like, okay, so Panay and Amon-Ra, and they lined those guys up in Goff last year, okay? And then they delayed it, and now they got Kirby. Next year will probably be Hutch, and I think they could actually hold on to Hutch for another year. Like I think he's got the first year option or 5th year option too. Excuse me. So I think they're spreading it out, and they're only going 4 years. So, and like some of these, like the contracts, especially in the NFL, it's almost like they rework the deals all the time.
Well,
you know what I mean? They can make it work, hopefully, but I think like if they're, and I'm pretty certain that they will, but if they weren't, like, for instance, to get a deal done for Hutch, then I'd be really pissed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
so I think we're at this point with Hutch, right? Because everybody's like, well, you re-sign him. Well, Hutch is going to be a $35 to $40 million player, right?
Yep.
That's just what the market
going rate for him is,
right? Because of how good he is.
Mm-hmm.
So
better do it sooner than later, because if not,
so here's my thought on that, right? So he had that bad injury last year.
Yeah.
Now he's young, 22, 23, 24, whatever.
Yeah.
He'll recover from that injury.
Mm-hmm.
So do you pay him right now and get him at a deal? Because he's definitely not going to get the 40 like Myles Garrett. He's not going to be the highest paid. He hasn't proved that he's a Myles Garrett yet.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely trending that way.
Yeah.
Love Hutch. He's probably going to be one of the best defensive ends. But let's take that away. Is he going to perform? So do you gamble and give him 32 to 35 right now and hope that he's back to where he was, if not better?
Right.
Or do you wait 1 year, see how he comes back?
Mm-hmm.
Does he perform? But with that, well, now if he comes back next year and he has this amazing year and he's where he's supposed to be at and continues, well, now he's worth 42, 43.
Yeah.
So it's going to cost you more.
Right.
So what gamble do you want to take? That you pay him in the 30s now and just hope he continues and you got a little bit of a deal? Or do you wait and have him prove himself and now you have to pay out of the ass?
Yeah.
It's a tough road to go.
I don't think he's going to get an extension. Because I think if they were going to do it, they probably would have done it already. So that tells me they're probably going to wait till next year, and they're probably waiting to see how the leg holds up and stuff. And it's just it sucks, but it is what it is. Yeah.
So I also want to bring up because I have some strong feelings on this, right? And I love the Lions. I feel like them signing their players. It's like you're going all in on the players, and I feel like the fans need to wrap it around their head. And I said it earlier that we're not going to get that big impact signing. You're not getting anybody outside of who's already on this team. I really don't think so. You're
talking like free agents.
We're not going to sign free agent. We're going to draft players. We're going to develop them and hopefully re-sign. We're not getting Henderson. We were never going to get Garrett. We're never going to get Max Crosby. Right? We're never going to get these guys because we keep signing our own players.
You can't, and the realistic, like if they're going to repay Hutch, like you cannot have two $40 million a year defensive ends. It's just not possible. And by signing Joseph tells me you're not going to spend that money on another defensive end. Mm-hmm. Because if you had two defensive ends like that at say 30, just 30 and 40, right? Even if Garrett was here and Hutch, you're not paying Joseph because you don't need a player as good as Joseph. If you have two defensive ends. And that's nothing against you don't need that good of a safety when you have those guys up there. I think the Lions' approach to this is, they want to secure certain guys, and they're securing certain guys like from each position group, and then they're going to fill the need through the draft or whatever.
And that's fine.
But I think they're going to fill the need for the opposite of Hutch, or like an interior defensive lineman in this draft. And
I completely agree.
I think that's what they're going to do. I think for 5 years, and then, hopefully in year 2 or 3 produces, hopefully this year. They're going to need him this year, whoever they get. So
I think, the other thing, I don't like the Derek Barnes signing. I did not like it. I think you paid him way too much. And that's the thing. I think we're paying our players way too much. Not a big fan of that signing. I think you probably could have found somebody in the late draft, or just not paid him that much. And the demo, not a big fan of paying a running back $8 million a year. Jesus, I'd rather wait and see what Gibbs is going to be in the long run than Demo. And again, this is nothing against these players.
Yeah,
I love them. I want these guys here. Trust me, I want these guys on this team. I'm just looking in the down the road.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that comes with that is I think Holmes did such a good job with the drafts that we're starting to see how do I want to word? He did so good with drafting all these players that all these players are working out. You have to pay all.
Yeah.
Right? You don't see a team like the Lions or a GM like Holmes draft all these guys and be so successful on every single hit 3 years in a row.
Yeah, right.
that now you have to pay him. It's like, oh shit. Well, normally you're hoping that you get one guy each year.
Yeah.
Well, we got multiple guys in the last 3 years, and now we owe them all money. So they can't all stay here.
The 2023 draft was, he really hammered.
But does that make sense what I'm saying? Like, we hit it so well that now it's like, oh shit.
You're right. But
now we have a problem trying to re-sign everybody.
But I think I think they're going to figure it out somehow, like, because they can rework deals. They can. They're non-guaranteed money that's involved. You know what I mean? Sometimes you see the number and you think it's this, but it's really something else because they can let somebody go early and, it doesn't have much impact on their cap hit and stuff. So, I mean, like, they can work the numbers, and I do believe that they kind of know what they're doing. And I think it sets a good precedent that, like, okay, if you get drafted here and you perform and you fit into the the mold of this team, like, you have an opportunity to secure a long-term deal. Like, you're going to get paid.
And I completely agree with that. I guess I just need to see how it develops when we're paying so much money to these guys. And again, I know I'm coming off a little bit more negative than
okay.
than I might.
It's fine.
I'm just thinking long term because I want all these guys on the team. I just like, is this going to blow up in our face? Well, now if we bring home a Super Bowl, then that's awesome. But if we don't, then it might come back to like, well, maybe you shouldn't have paid all these guys this much money, and you should have went to the free agency and brought in somebody that was going to do something.
Yeah, I think this year is going to be telling, like, as far as how the Lions perform, because I feel like the Lions, you could easily argue that they could have, you could argue that they peaked, and then maybe, like, okay, they're going to be in for a downturn, whether it's golf starts slipping or something like that. I'm not saying that could happen, but
yeah.
I just think you'll know this year, like, if the Holmes, like, the drafting and the signing, if that's going to work out based on how they perform this year. Like, you're going to see all this, because this is what year, what are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is year 5 for them.
Yeah.
You're going to really know if this is working out the way that they want and the way that we want.
So let me try to put a positive, because I do feel like I've been negative on this. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying not to come off like that, but I have a lot of concerns and I'm not mad about it, because it's almost like I'm like indifferent, right? Mm-hmm. I think we are still a huge contender. I think we have a great chance of winning the Super Bowl. If you ask me right now, we're going to win the Super Bowl next year. I'm just looking towards the future.
Yeah.
And it has no hate against the team. I think we have a solid team. And trust me, I want these guys on our team. But when you start talking dollar amounts, I get a little, on edge about it. But I want these guys here. Trust me, I want Joseph here. I think Derek Barnes is going to help. Demo's going to shove it down your fucking throat, right? These are guys I want on this team.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't want it to seem like I don't want that we should get rid of them, because this is a hell of a good team.
Yeah.
And we're going to be good next year.
Well, I think that should just be the focus. Like, they just need to get a ring. Like, just they like, that should be the focus, and I think that's what they're striving for. And they're doing it within the confines of the constraints of money and stuff like that. And I think they're doing a pretty good job. But it's all going to come to fruition this year. Like, if they are doing this right, we will know this year, because last year was a fluke because of the injuries. But we're going to know this year if they are doing it correctly, because I think you're going to see, I mean, they're either going to improve or they're not. And improve, to me, like, that means bare minimum, you have to get to the Super Bowl. Like, that's improvement. If they go out and lose the first round again, let's say they win the division, go out and lose the first round, that's a failure. Like,
it is, yeah.
You're going backwards.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We peaked so far at getting to the NFC Championship game and blew it, but like, that's been our peak so far, and we went backwards last year. I don't care about the 15-2. That's what it is. Like, are we going to rebound this year?
Yeah.
Are we going to rebound this year and show that this is the right way? And I don't know. I don't know yet.
I mean, I do like that we are building our team. It's almost like a baseball thing where you're bringing up homegrown players. Mm-hmm. I know the NFL is a different beast when it comes to things like that. You don't really have a homegrown team, but we're trying that. And I do like that. It is nice, because you fall in love with these players, right? And this is a fan aspect, not what I think Holmes or Campbell. We fall in love with all these players. Like, I don't want to see Branch in another uniform. I don't want to see Gibbs in another uniform or Goff or Brown or I mean, fuck for even JMO, right? These are just my opinions on just how the NFL works. I want to see these guys in the Honolulu Blue every single Sunday and then see you play in February.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I want that.
Yep.
Right. I'm here for this team. I just hope that this is what's gonna work for us. And I think it's gonna be one of those things. And I'm not saying I'm going to be that person. I just can see if they don't win anything, it's going to come back to these contracts. If they do, then it's going to be like they knew exactly what they were doing. Yeah. Right? You know?
Yeah.
It's just like a Dan Campbell, go for it on fourth down. If he doesn't get it, everybody's like, why did he do that? He shouldn't have done that. He should have took the points. But when he gets it, it's like, did you see that play? That was so smart to do that. Yeah. That's exactly what's going to happen with
we're all reactive. We're all reactive to the present moment. And that's how it is. You know, we're all still kind of burnt from that Washington game. And you know, we need to see what he does in the draft and how these guys perform. And like, I think we all just need to just take a chill pill. Like I feel pretty good about where this team is at and their approach and stuff. So I do too. I think it's all going to work out, but like ultimately it just comes down to like it's Super Bowl or bust. You know what I mean? It's Super Bowl or bust. Like,
I think that's exactly.
It's Super Bowl or bust. That's all. So
okay.
It's a lot of pressure, but it is what it is.
So tonight's the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Everybody already knows. I don't know any of these players, right? But that doesn't mean anything. What are they taking? Like a lot, like you don't got to give me a name because I'm not going to give you a name.
Well, I can tell you for certain. I know one thing for certain: they will not take a quarterback in the first round.
Maybe a running back.
Oh God, a tight end.
But what position do you think we're going to take tonight at 28? Well, or do you think we're sorry?
No, you're fine. You know what? Like Brad Holmes has shown that he's going to take the best player. You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to be a quarterback or running back, obviously. I think it, but could he draft any other position at that first pick? Yeah. Would I like to see another safety or a quarterback or a tight end? No, absolutely not. I only care about the trenches at this point, and it needs to be O-line or D-line. Like anything on, they're going to need a center. They need a guard. But they also need an interior tackle, defensive tackle, and they need an edge rusher opposite Hutch. Any one of four of those, I am good with. Like, just keep the DNA of this team. We keep saying that word, right?
Yeah.
But it's with the Lions, it is their O-line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the O-line, and they need to get the D-line up to par with that. So either one of those.
Okay.
How about you?
I think first round at 28, I think we're going to take a defensive player. Not necessarily an edge or a tackle, just like you said, it's going to be, even if you draft a tackle or an edge, I think they're going to look for somebody that can play anywhere on that D line, right? Just because they played somewhere in college, we see these guys move positions all the way. I think a D line is going to be our first pick, and I think we're going to pick up, second and on. I think we might see a couple offensive linemen here.
Yeah,
earn your spot.
They could.
And I'm okay with that. And I brought that up that like our O-line, yes, you have to keep that together. I agree. We're one of the best in the league. But I like the fact that because we still have our O-line for next year. So bring somebody in or two guys that can learn, not just throw them to the wolves. Two guys that can maybe sit behind, our offensive line, learn, get some plays in to take over because we have some guys that are going to be retiring.
Yeah, well, then also we lost Zeitler, and so you have Mahogany, who was he a rookie last year? The rookie of the year before? I think he was a rookie of the year before. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So he took Zeitler's spot when Zeitler got hurt. So like you have a very young guy there, like Graham Glasgow on your other guard spot, and then you have Decker. He's getting old, and you have I can't believe his center is a Ragnow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Those guys are getting old. Like
And that's
one of those guys go down.
That's true.
I don't like.
But that's why I think we'll see a few O-line drafted,
maybe
to come in and help. But I wouldn't be surprised if O-line went in the first round.
They need a receiver. They technically do need a receiver. You know what I mean? Probably later in the draft, but like.
I think we'll pick. How many picks do we? We have 5 picks, right? I think we only have 5 this year.
We have a first, second, third.
Don't think we have
we don't have a fourth
And
I don't think we have a fifth either.
that's what I think we have 5 picks.
We
So I
either
could
have
see
2 6s or we have 2 7s.
Okay, so I could see not in this order. I could see defensive lineman, any position, 2 offensive linemen, any position, a receiver, right? And then maybe you're looking at that, maybe a linebacker or something like that, right?
There's going to be some picks in this that are going to be like, what the hell? You know what I mean? But like they're going to draft, for the most part, I think best player available.
And it's a good spot to be at. Best player available, right?
As long as they plug in a couple of those needs, like I think we should be okay.
I think so. It'll be exciting to see.
Yep, it will be. But watching it on the side with the Pistons game.
On the side, I'll have it on my phone.
Yep.
Because everybody gets all excited about the draft. When we're not in the top 10 anymore, I don't really care.
Right. In this draft, I think somebody mentioned it. It's just like this draft is not exciting. There's like no good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good defensive ends and defensive players, but like not a lot of good running backs. Like the receivers are, it's like a lot of defensive tackles and a lot of defensive ends that are coming out. So who knows?
All right. Well, before we wrap it up, let's get stud and dud.
Yeah, we're gonna do studs. Are we doing studs?
Studs and duds? Because I feel like there's some names that need to be mentioned
catch up
on both sides from the last 3 weeks.
All right, you want to give me your duds first?
My duds first, yes. I will give my duds. And I'm not even gonna give this guy much airtime, but a dud that happened a few weeks ago was that I don't even know his name. He doesn't even deserve to be said. But that Tigers executive that was sending dirty pictures or taking pictures or some.
What's up with the creeps?
Yeah,
what's up with the creeps?
So that Tigers exec, you're getting a dud. Fuck you. It's just that's what you get.
Yeah.
And then my other dud, just to make to bring into this week, was the Knicks head coach Thibodeau for saying that they lost the game because the refs didn't call it right. And like, all right, come on. The refs mess up all the time. I know this.
The Pistons had more calls on them too. You know what I mean? Like, come on. The refs they're not perfect. All right. So when we lost because, all right, listen, everybody says that. Well, a lot of people are pretty much say that he's like a lame duck. Like they say, like if he doesn't, I think make the finals, like he's probably canned. Oh, so he's probably just desperate. Yeah. So at this point, those are my duds for the last couple weeks. What do you got? I had him too, but we pretty much covered him. I got Jalen Brunson to stick with the Knicks, like, and when he's holding up that 6 the other day, like I just wanted to punch the TV. I don't like what, like the Pistons are going to win in 6. Like, is that like your thing? Okay, that's cool. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'm going to be really like, it's going to be fun to watch him at LCA today, and like, hopefully we get under his skin. But yeah, he's one of my duds. And then I'm going to go with the former Tennessee Volunteer quarterback Nico Amaliva. I think that's how you say him. I didn't say Nico Amalivan. What a joke. He held out for more money. For people that don't know this, he held out for more NIL money. He held out before the spring game, kind of like held his team hostage in a sense. They did not bite, and they pretty much said, go ahead, see ya. Well, because he had, so last year he had his contract, his NIL. Yep. Then he wanted to renegotiate. Yep. They renegotiated. He almost sat out a playoff game, right? The playoff game against Ohio State. He wanted to renegotiate. They renegotiated. Then he wanted to renegotiate his renegotiation. Oh, jeez. That's what happened, and that's when Tennessee was like, bye. Deuces. Yep. Yeah, so now he's he's playing for UCLA. UCLA sucks. I don't know if you know this, but Tennessee did make the playoff last year. They're pretty good. Yeah. So he took a pay cut. So God bless him. God bless him. He probably took a pay cut. And then he actually playing for a lesser team, like to see how that works out for you. Yeah, well, all just over this, and probably over something stupid like, okay, I know millions are millions, but like, bro, you're a college player, like 4 million is not good enough. You want to get 5, like, dude, you're in college. Yeah, it's ridiculous. You know what? Like NIL, that's a topic for another time. It's ridiculous. I'm just starting to wonder too, like if we're starting to see like a lack of quarterback development coming up from the quarterback, like the college ranks. Like, is this playing out? Because you had like what's his name? Carson, is it Carson Beck from Georgia? Like, he's already transferred again. He was playing at Georgia. Like, why would you want to leave Georgia?
Yeah.
Well, it's because of the money.
Yeah.
So you're going to bounce from Georgia, who's the best program in the nation. You're going to go play at Miami. Like,
this NIL, they need to get it under control because I think it's ruining the game.
I totally is.
Completely ruining
totally
the game.
is. All right. Anyways, okay. How about your studs?
Okay, studs. So we took a couple weeks off. I feel like a few of these players need to be recognized. I'm gonna go with just like the big things that were accomplished over the last 3 weeks. First stud is going to Rory McIlroy.
Yeah.
Won the Grand Slam, won the major. It was a hell of a weekend. I don't know if you watched it all.
I did watch a lot of the last round. The playoff was awesome.
Yeah.
He had, just to give him a shout out really quick, like, there was one of his iron shots. He had to go around a tree. That was
unbelievable.
Ridiculous. I could not, like, I was just like flat.
I was tied to the TV the whole Sunday. Like,
yeah.
Normally it's on in the background.
Yeah.
And I'm doing other stuff. No, I was on the couch just watching every single shot.
Yeah, that was exciting. And like, I guess now I know like what it's like to get old, because when I was younger, I used to always be like, wow, how can like my dad and like my uncles and grandpa watch? How can they watch golf?
Right.
I get it now. I get it. It's exciting. It's good. It's relaxing.
Especially that was fun.
Yeah.
Alex Ovechkin.
Yeah. Broke
Wayne Gretzky's record.
Yep.
Stud to you. That's it's and he did it in the same amount of games.
It's
unreal.
It's eerie.
It is
so eerie.
It really is.
Yeah,
so
that's crazy. But
so tip of the cap to you, sir.
Yep.
And then I have Western Michigan University.
Oh yeah.
Hockey team. They won the Frozen Four National Championship. Hats off to you guys. All studs.
Yeah.
And that's just making up for the last 3 weeks. So that's who I got.
That's pretty awesome. I mean, like, to think like Western Michigan, they have like a national championship to hang their hat on. Like, that's pretty awesome.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's their first one ever.
Yeah.
So
good for them.
It was good.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. All right, I got Bickerstaff, JB Bickerstaff for the Pistons. I think he's out coaching Tom Thibodeau, and it's just really cool to see the growth with this team, and I think he's a big reason for that.
Just everything he did this year for the team. Yeah.
He's really he's phenomenal. So like that's been really, really cool. Casey Mize, I could give it to Torque too, but I gave it to him a little while back. But I'm going to give it up to Casey Mize, just rebounding, pitching like super well. He finally got that splitter to work for him.
Nasty.
Yeah. So like that's really, really good to see.
Stud.
Yeah, definitely a stud. And then I got one more. This is Mike's favorite player. I'm going to give it up to Javi Baez for his catch yesterday in center field.
I'm not made.
Yes. And I'm not going to just give it up for the catch. The catch was great, but like the fact that he's actually going out there and playing center and he's playing it pretty well, like he can look like a natural making that catch. And he's contributing. You know what I mean? Like he's playing fairly well this year.
Hey,
so
listen, I will admit when I'm wrong about a player, and
you haven't been wrong about him though. Like
no, but
yeah,
he has been doing well.
Yes.
So far this season.
It's good to see. It really is good to see because they paying him a lot.
John texts me, our buddy John, he texts me all day, and he'll just be like, "Oh, look how Baez is doing." I'm like, because everybody knows how much I hate him. But hey, listen, what is it? Eat crow, egg on the face. That's fine, right? And I was telling our buddy yesterday, I was like, he's only doing this for me. This is all for me. So if Baez is gonna become a good player for me, then I will take that. And
I guess just keep talking shit too.
That's what I'm saying. So no, you can't deny when someone's doing what they're doing, right? And I agree. Hats off to him.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can keep it up.
Yeah.
Right. He's got a lot of ground to cover. But yeah, no, good for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a good show. That was fun.
Yeah, let's wrap it up, man. That was a good show.
Let's go Pistons, go Lions, go Tigers, go Detroit.
Yep.
Let's go get that dub against the Knicks tonight.
Yep.
We got this. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all.
Love you.
Have a good weekend.
Good night.
Cheers.